Hey gang, today I'm going to show you how to make some ornaments out of a slab of clay. I rolled this out on my slab roller, which I have here in school. I have this swan cookie cutter that I got from the dollar store. It comes in a pack of who knows how many and different cutters for their Play-Doh stuff. I also used a texture roller on my clay. So if you're noticing there's a texture here, it's because I used a texture roller on my clay. And basically you just press it down on the clay and roll, and it creates the lines for you, the design. Alright. I saw some cute ideas on Pinterest the other day for a Santa. So I'm going to grab my ruler and my knife, my vetting knife. Now, in my class, my Ceramic 1 students don't have this. You can use your needle tool to cut as well. If you're online and you just want to grab a butter knife, just use the back side of it so that you don't have those little serrated pieces. Because basically this is just a flat piece of metal. It's not sharp, but you can see it's rusted because it wasn't taken care of properly. So, all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm literally just gonna cut some triangles. So I'm gonna put my knife down, and I wanna do some long, skinny triangles. I'm not gonna be too particular here about what they look like, how big they are. They vary in size, that's okay, because I wanna make them look homemade and just a little crazy. So I'm just literally moving my ruler back and forth in a zigzag pattern, making that cut, so that I end up with a triangle piece. Then I have areas like this that are scrap. Okay, now I showed you that cookie cutter earlier that was that swan or duck or whatever this thing is. I thought this shape here would be a fun little handlebar mustache type shape. So I'm gonna see how that works. I'm gonna lay it on my clay. I'm going to push it down in there. I'll pop that out if I can. If I can't, I'll use my needle tool to help me push it out. Or my wooden knife modeling tool. There we go. Now, with this, it's kind of on the thick side. I like the shape. I could twist the mustache if I wanted to. But I'm just going to use my fingers to kind of pinch it down a little bit. And then I'm going to add that to my ornament here, because I'm going to make a Santa ornament. So in order to have a piece that can hook onto something over the tree, I could put a hole here, okay, and just have it like this tall stick. But what I saw online that I really liked is like his hat was kind of bent over. So I'm just going to slowly kind of curl that down. I have to leave that space in there, so if you want to take like your modeling tool or your knife or something that's round, a dowel, you can kind of shape that around there and press that down so that you leave that space in there. You don't need it this fat, that's just what I grabbed. So if I want to kind of flatten that out a little bit. Having water handy is very helpful. Okay. You can kind of smooth your fingers on the clay and smooth it out. Just play around with it, smooth, 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 until you get to what you want. If you can put a little ball down here, like a ball on his hat if you wanted to. I'm going to create little eyeballs up through here. And then I'm going to put his mustache in here. So I might actually have the mustache going underneath this. And then this will just be the rest of the Santa Claus. That's as simple as it was. I would smooth this out. I could have put texture on both sides of the clay. You notice it's still pretty thick. It's about 1/4 inch thick when I rolled it out. You could roll it out a little bit thinner, but you don't want it to be too thin because it becomes too delicate and easy to break. But I'm always going to be smoothing off my edges, just using my fingers, lightly pinching, the pinch technique that we use, okay? The bottom here, I could trim off so it's straight if I wanted to. I kind of like how it's different and at an angle, so I'm just going to leave that, but I am going to smooth it out. All right. front and the back. I could take my metal rib and I could use that to smooth. And make sure it's all smooth. If you're going to be giving these away as gifts, or if you're going to make projects or whatever with somebody, maybe you have a little brother, sister, cousin, grandchild, whatever you want to make, you can do this out of air dry clay, or modeling clay. Modeling clay is kind of an oil base, so it doesn't really dry. You can make flour salt dough if you don't have clay in a kiln, access to that. You can always take a ceramics class at a local ceramics studio or in school, and you can do a lot of fun things. Your teacher might not give you a time to make this kind of thing. It might be something you would ask if you could make it on your own. It's not usually a project in like a high school setting that we would typically be making, but I'm all for the kids exploring and playing with the clay and making things that they're gonna like and want to keep and want to give away or want to sell. Because, you know, as an artist, people are always like, oh, you can't make money as an artist. Sure you can. You don't have to be a starving artist. You don't have to charge outrageous amounts of money for a painting that took you days, hours, weeks, months to make. You can do something that's quick, simple, easy, and be able to turn it around and sell it right away, and a lot of them. So you don't have to have such a high price point, and you can have more people enjoy your pieces. And then you would be a professional artist because you sold your artwork. So I would just keep refining that, and I would add the details that I want. Like I said, I'd leave this space up through here. If my finger doesn't fit in that area, I might grab a different tool and just trying to start smoothing that out. I could actually just leave it like this. This is kind of a pretty little design, like a Christmas tree bent over or something. A little star down here if I wanted to. Maybe he's bending in the wind, I don't know. So really it's completely up to you, but that's basically starting with a slab. And then just using cookie cutters or a knife and your ruler and creating whatever design you want. If you want to make something and you don't have cookie cutters, you could draw out a basic shape or print out a basic shape online, cut it out on some tag board or heavy paper or plastic even, and then you could use that as a template and cut around each piece if you didn't have a certain shape that you wanted. So you don't have to go out and buy a specific cookie cutter shape. You can make your own templates. So if I was to have this as a workshop or a, sorry, there's my bell, or as a class project, I would have the kids make multiple of these or different ones. So at least 12, nice dozen. And they'd have to be a certain size and use enough clay.